Hello students, welcome back to another video of MATHIPHY. In today's video, we'll do remaining question of paper 2, course code 0580, February, March year 2025. So starting from question number 3, the diagram shows a cylinder with radius r and height 16. So here we have a cylinder whose height is 16 and radius is r. A sphere has a radius of 3 centimeter. The volume of the cylinder is equal to the volume of the sphere. Find the value of R. So question has given us the hint, volume of cylinder is equals to volume of sphere. The volume of cylinder has the formula pi r square h, and the sphere volume has the formula 4 by 3 pi r cube. So I'm putting the values. I don't know the value of R, but I know the value of height of cylinder, which is 16. So I'm going to put 16 in place of height. Over here, 4 over 3 pi, and the radius of a sphere is 3 centimeters. So it would be 3 cube. We have pi on both sides, so I can cancel pi with pi. The remainings are 16r square is equals to 4 over 3, and the cube of 3 is 27. Now I can cancel 3 and 27. 3 ones are 3 and 3 nines are 27. So the equation is 16r square is equals to 4 times 9. Now I will divide both sides by 16. So it would be 4 times 9 divided by 16. 4 ones are 4, 4 fours are 16. So r square is equals to 9 over 4. Now to get rid of this square, I'll take square root on both sides. Square get cancelled with square root. So r is equals to square root of 9 is 3 and square root of 4 is 2. So r is equals to 3 over 2, or in decimals we can say that r is equals to 1.5 centimeter. So I'll write the value of r, which is 1.5 centimeter. Next question is about circle theorems. So A, B, C, D, and E lie on a circle. FG is the tangent to a circle at C. Angle BAD is 110, angle ADB is 20, and angle BEC is 45 degree. Find the angle BCD. Give a geometrical reason for your answer. So we are supposed to find this angle BCD. Now you can see that there is a cyclic quadrilateral over here, and the rule says opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral add to 180. So 110 and this BCD will add to 180. To get BCD, I'll subtract both sides by 110. So BCD will turn out to be 70 degrees. And I'm writing the answer over here. Angle BCD is 90 because opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral add up to 180. Now we are supposed to find this BDC angle after it. Now you can clearly see this crisscross shape over here. And if we study the rules, it's the same segment rule that says angle at circumference subtended by the same arc are equal. So this angle is subtended by this yellow arc, and this angle on circumference is also subtended by this yellow arc. So both angles are same. That means this DBC angle, which is this, is 45 because both are sharing the same arc, this blue arc. So both are 45. Now if we talk about this angle, see 45, 70 and this angle are making a triangle, and angles of triangle add up to 180. If I subtract the sum of 70 and 45 from 180, I'll get the third missing angle, so it is 65. So this angle is 65 degree. I'll also write it over here in the space. Now we are supposed to find angle DCG. And angle DCG is this blue angle. To find this angle, let us just study the alternate segment property. So if we have a tangent and we have three chords that are making a triangle and their vertices are lying on the circumference of the circle, the angle between one chord and the tangent is equal to the angle in the alternate segment. So if this is 65, this angle is also 65 because it is made by opposite chord and the tangent. So this is an alternate segment property. So this angle is also 65 degree. Question number 15 says point A has the coordinates 4 and 1 and BA vector is -5, -12. Find the coordinates of B. So BA is equals to A minus B. You know, this is a formula. And if you want to get B, you'll arrange the equation as A minus BA. Now to get the coordinates of B, I'll put the position vector of A, which would be -4 and 1. And the vector of B is already given, which is -5 and -12. Now I'll solve it further. -4, -5 would be +5. And 1, -12 would be +12. So -4 plus 5 would be +1. And 1 plus 12 would be 13. So 1 and 13 are the coordinates of B. B part says point C has the coordinates 5 and -2. Find the vector CA. So again the same formula to get CA, it would be A minus C. Now you know the position vector of A already, which is -4 and 1. So I'll put it over here, -4 and 1, minus the position vector of C would be 5 and -2. Solving it further, it would be -4, -5 and 1, -2 would be +2. So -4 minus 5 would be -9 and 1 plus 2 would be 3. So this is vector of CA. Now EF vector is equals to 3 times of BA vector. Find magnitude of EF. To get magnitude of any vector, let's suppose you want to get the magnitude of this A vector. The formula is you take a square root and then you take square of x component and then you take square of y component. So to find the magnitude of EF vector, let us just find the EF vector first, then we'll apply the formula. So EF is equals to 3 times of BA vector. I'll put the value of BA vector over here. So it's 3 times of -5 and -12. Now 3 times -5 would be -15 and 3 times -12 would be -36. So this is EF vector. Now we'll calculate the magnitude by the same formula. So it would be square root and square of x component, which is -15, plus square of y component, which is -36. So square of it. Now after it, you'll simplify it. Square of a negative number is a positive number. So 15 square would be positive 225 and 36, -36 square would be positive 1296. Adding 1296 to 225, it would be 1521. Now the problem is, how can we take a square root of a number without calculator? For this we can prime factorize the number that we have under square root. For example, this goes on the table of 3. 3 5s are 15 and then put a 0 and 3 7s are 21. Now it is again going on the table of 3. So 3 1s are 3, 2 goes over here. Now it would be 3 6 are 18. Again the remaining 2 would go to 7, so it will make it 27. Now you know 3 9s are 27, so it is 169 now. Now 169 is goes on table of 13, so 13 13s are 169 and 13 1s are 13. So instead of 1521, you can write 3 square and 13 square. Now square and square root can be cancelled out, so it is only 3 times 13, and the final answer for 3 times 13 would be 39. Question number 16 says the stem and leaf diagram shows the mass of each of 13 packets. So here we have 13 packets masses. 1 represents 31. Work out the interquartile range. The formula for interquartile range is upper quartile minus lower quartile. The formula for upper quartile is 3n plus 1 over fourth term, and the formula for lower quartile is n plus 1 over fourth term. So I'll find the upper quartile and lower quartile with the formula. First we'll calculate the upper quartile. So I'm writing the formula again, 3n plus 1 over fourth term. Now you know there are 13 packets, so the value of n is 13. 13 plus 1 is 14. So I'll write 3 times 14 over 4. Solving it further, 3 times 14 would be 45, so it is 45 over fourth term. Now 45 over 4 is 10.5, so it is 10.5th term. Now 10.5th term means it's the middle term of 10th and 11th term. So let us calculate what is the 10th term. If I see the 10th term is lying over here, so 10th term is 51 and the 11th term is 52. So what is the middle term of 51 and 52? The middle term of 51 and 52 is 51.5. So the upper quotile is 51.5. Now for the lower quotile, I'll use the formula n plus 1 over fourth term. You know, n is again 13 because there are 13 packets. So it is 13 plus 1, which is 14 over 4. 14 over 4 is 3.5th term. 3.5th term mean it is the middle term of third term and the fourth term. Now what is the third term? The third term is 38. And what is the fourth term? The fourth term is 40. Now what is the middle value of this? The middle value of 38 and 40 is 39. So the lower quotile is 39. So 51.5 minus 39 would be 12.5 grams. So it is the interquartile. B part says two of these packets are chosen at random. Find the probability that one packet has mass more than 50 gram and the other packet has mass less than 50 gram. So what is the probability that if we make the first attempt, the first packet that we got has a mass greater than 50, and then we made the second attempt and the second packet has mass less than 50? Or if we made the first attempt, the first packet has the mass less than 50 and the second packet that we get has the mass greater than 50. So these are the two possible events. Now I have written the packets over here. The mass which is greater than 50, there are only 4 options and out of total 13 options. So 13 total and there are 4 masses greater than 50. And for the mass less than 50, we have 9 options. But the total this time is not 13 because one packet has been already taken out. So the total is 12. Or is replaced by plus. Now what is the second chance that we get mass less than 50 first and mass greater than 50 in the second attempt? So less than 50, again we have 9 options and the total would be 13 for the first pick. And for the next pick, the mass which are greater than 50 are 4 out of 12 because 1 is already taken out. Now we can solve it further. 4 9s are 36 and 13 12s are 156. Again 9 4s are 36 and 13 12s are is 156. Now you know denominators are same, so we can write them once and we can add the numerators. So 36 plus 36 is 72. So the probability is 72 over 156. 17th question is saying work out 15 over 9 plus 0.28 and a dot over it. Give your answer as fraction in the simplest form. In the second term, which is 0.28 and there is a dot over 8, that means this 8 is a recurring number. Now what is a recurring number? A recurring number is a number which repeats itself over and over again. So if I write it in other form, it would be 0.288 repeating itself again and again. To convert this into fraction, I will multiply both sides of this equation by 10 first. So multiplying both sides by 10, then it would be 10x is equals to 2.88 repeating itself. After it, I'll multiply both sides by 100 again of the same equation. So it would be 100x is equals to 28.88 repeating itself. Let me call this equation as equation 1 and this equation as equation 2. Now I will subtract equation 1 from equation 2. So I'll put 100x is equals to 28.88 repeating and 10x is equals to 2.88 repeating, and I'll subtract them both. 100 minus 10 would be 90x and 28.88 minus 2.88 would be 26. Now it would be 26 divided by 90, or to reduce it, it would be 13 over 45. Now I will solve the question. It is 5 over 9, and in place of this decimal now I'll write 13 over 45. To make the denominator same, I'll multiply 9 with 5 and 5 with 5. So it would be 25 over 45 plus 13 over 45. Now the denominators are same, so I can write them once, and 25 and 13 would add it up and it would be 38 over 45. So the answer is 38 over 45. Question number 18 has this diagram, and it says that quadrilateral ACDE is formed by two right angle triangles ABE and BCD. AC is 17 centimeter and AE is 18, BD 6, and prove that the CD side is 10 centimeter long. So as it's a right angle triangle, so we can use Pythagoras theorem to prove this side, but first we need this BC length to apply the Pythagoras theorem. Now how can we get this BC length? We know this total length is 17. If we get the length AB, we will subtract it from 17 and we will get the length BC. So now we can find the length AB first. Now for AB, this side is adjacent, this side is hypotenuse, and we have the angle which is 60. That means we can apply the cos ratio. Cos theta is equals to adjacent over hypotenuse. Angle is 60. Adjacent is AB that we need to find, and hypotenuse is 18. The value of cos 60 from the table is 1 over 2. And after it we can cross multiply it. 2 times AB would be 2AB, and 18 times 1 would be 18. We'll divide both sides by 2 to get AB. So 18 over 2, and then 18 over 2 would be 9. So 9 centimeter is the AB length. This AB length is 9 centimeter. This complete length is 17 centimeter. To get the length BC, I will subtract 9 from 17 and I'll get the remaining length BC. So the remaining length BC is 8 centimeter. So this ABC length is 8 centimeter. Now I can get DC by applying Pythagoras theorem on this right angle triangle. We have perpendicular 6 and base 8. So the Pythagoras theorem would be 8 square and 6 square. 8 square is 64 and 6 square is 36. 64 plus 36 would be 100, and square root of 100 is 10. So 10 centimeter is the length. B part says find the perimeter of quadrilateral ACDE. Give your answer in this form. So we have calculated this length as 10 centimeter. Now we need to get the perimeter, that means adding all the boundary lengths. But we have this missing boundary length x. How can I get this? If I know this complete length EB, I'll subtract 6 from it and I'll get the length ED. Now how can I get this EB length? As you know, it's opposite. So I can apply the tan ratio over it and I'll get this complete EB length. So tan theta is equals to opposite over adjacent. So tan 60 would be equals to opposite is EB. So I'll write EB over here, and adjacent we have just calculated is 9. So tan 60 has the value of square root 3. And EB over 9 will remain as it is. Now I can cross multiply it, or EB is equals to 9 under root 3. Now whole EB length is 9 under root 3 and DB length is 6 centimeter. So the remaining length is 9 under root 3 minus 6. Now we can get the perimeter by adding 18 plus 17 plus 10 plus 9 square root 3 minus 6. So 18 plus 17 plus 10 plus 9 square root 3 minus 6. 18 plus 17 plus 10 minus 6 will give you 39, and the remaining is 9 under root 3. So this is the perimeter In question number 19, we have a Venn diagram. We have three sets A, B, C overlapping, and in the Venn diagram, shade the region A union B union C and a complement of these three. So that means we have to unite A, B, and C, and then we have to remove all this from the universal set. So this is the region. After combining A, B, C, we remove them from the universal set. Question number 20 says simplify square root 300 plus square root 48. I've told you to solve square roots we can prime factorize the numbers. So 2 times 15 is 30, 0 come along. Then we can do it on the table of 5. 5 threes are 15 and 0 come along. Then we can again do it on the table of 2. 2 15s are 30. Then again on the table of 5, 5 threes are 15 and then 3 ones are 3. So we have got 2 square multiplied by 5 square and then a single 3. We'll do same for 48. Firstly it goes on the table of 2, 2 24s are 48, then again on the table of 2, 2 12s are 24, 2 6s are 12, then 2 3s are 6 and 3 1s are 3. So 48 can be written into its prime factors as 2 square times 2 square times 3. Now you know square can be cancelled out with square root. So 2 and 5 will come outside the square root and 3 will remain inside. And over here these two 2's can come out of the square and 3 would remain inside. Now I'll do the multiplications. 5 2's are 10 under root 3 plus 2 2's are 4 under root 3. So 10 under root 3 plus 4 under root 3 is collectively 14 under root 3. You know, it's the property of addition of surds. B part says rationalize the denominator and simplify. So whenever you're supposed to rationalize the denominator having any surd, you're going to multiply and divide by the same terms but with the opposite sign between them. So it would be 2 minus under root 7 and 2 minus under root 7. Now I'll do the multiplication. 9 times 2 minus under root 7 and 2 plus under root 7 times 2 minus under root 7. Now solving the numerator first, it would be 9 2 times is 18. So 18 and 9 multiplied by under root 7 would be 9 under root 7. And in the denominator, you can remember an identity where two same terms are adding one time and subtracting one time. It's a plus b and a minus b, which is equals to a square minus b square. So I'll do the same over here. It would be 2 square minus under root 7 square. Now simplifying the denominator further, the numerator is already simplified. So 2 square would be 4 and this square root cancelled out, so it would be 7. So 4 minus 7 will give you negative 3. So in the denominator we'll have negative 3 now. In the numerator you can take 3 common. So it would, if you take 3 common in the numerator, inside the bracket will have 6 minus 3 under root 7 over negative 3. I can cancel this 3 with this 3. So it would be negative sign in the denominator, which will change the sign upside. So it would be negative 6 plus 3 under root 7. Now question number 21, write down the coordinates of the point where the graph y equals to 5x minus 3 crosses y-axis. So crosses y-axis or lying on y-axis means the x coordinate is 0. So the graph is asking you to calculate the value of y when x is 0. So y is equals to 5 times 0 minus 3. Then it would be 0 minus 3. That means y is equals to negative 3. So when x is 0, y is negative 3. B part says A is the point 1 7 and B is the point 5 15. Find the equation of perpendicular bisector of line AB. Give your answer in the form y equals to mx plus c. So let's suppose A, B are making a line and there is a perpendicular bisector cutting this line. Bisector means cutting the line from the mid. So this red line is cutting this blue line from the mid. And also it is cutting it from the 90-degree angle, so it is perpendicular to it. And we have to find the equation of this red line. So to find the equation, we need two things. Firstly, we need a slope and we need y-intercept. If there are two perpendicular lines, their slope would be negative and reciprocal of each other. So if we know the slope of line AB, we can take negative and reciprocal of that to know the slope of the perpendicular line. To get the slope of this line AB, I can use the formula which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Y2 is 15 and y1 is 7, so it would be 15 minus 7 over 5 minus 1. So 15 minus 7 is 8 and 5 minus 1 is 4 and 8 over 4 is 2. The line AB has the slope 2 and this perpendicular line would have the slope which is negative and reciprocal of 2, so it would be negative 1 over 2. Now to get the y-intercept or the c value, we need to know any coordinates from which this red line is passing. So you know this red line is passing from this mid region of AB or midpoint of AB. So we can find the midpoint of AB, which will help us to get c. So for the midpoint, the formula is x1 plus x2 over 2 and y1 plus y2 over 2. So x1 is 1, x2 is 5 over 2, y1 is 7 and y2 is 15 over 2. 1 plus 5 is 6, 6 over 2 is 3 and 7 plus 15 over 2 would be 11. So 3 and 11 are the coordinates from which this red line is passing. So this coordinate will help us to get C. To get C, I will write the general equation of line. I'll put the value of y, which is 11, value of m, which is negative 1 over 2, value of x, which is 3, and plus C. Now 11 is equals to negative 3 over 2 plus C. Adding both side by 3 over 2, C would be 11 plus 3 over 2 and the final value of C is 25 over 2. So we have got the y-intercept, we have got the slope as well, so we can make the equation. I'll write the general equation and put the value of slope and y-intercept in it. So it would be negative 1 over 2x plus 25 over 2. So this is the equation of line. Let me write it over here as well. 1 over 2 plus 25 over 2. Question number 22 says a curve has the equation x cubed plus x squared minus x. The curve has a stationary point at 1 over 3 and negative 5 over 27. Find the coordinates of other stationary point. As it's a cubic equation, so it will have two stationary points. One is already given, we need to find the second one. And you know, at stationary point or turning point, the derivative or differentiation of the equation is 0. So let me take the differentiation of this equation first. I'll write the equation. To take differentiation, the rule is that you multiply the coefficient with the exponent. So 1 times 3 is 3. And then we subtract 1 from the exponent, so it would be 2. We do the same thing again. 2 times 1 would be 2. And then subtract 1 from the exponent, it would be 1. And the derivative of x would be 1. Now after taking the derivative, we are supposed to put dy by dx equals to 0. So remaining equation would remain as it is. Now, you know, as it's a quadratic equation, so we can solve it with the middle term breaking as well. So the breaking is 3x minus x. Now I can make the pairs and take common. So from the first pair, the 3x is common and x plus 1 comes inside the bracket. And from the second pair, negative 1 is common and x plus 1 come inside the bracket. So I can write it as 3x minus 1 and x plus 1 equals to 2. So either 3x minus 1 is equals to 0 or x plus 1 is equals to 0. Now you can get two values of x's from here. X is 1 over 3 or x is negative 1. For x 1 over 3, the stationary points are already given. So we are supposed to find the stationary points for x negative 1. To find the value of y from x negative 1, we'll put the value of x in the equation that is provided. So y is equals to negative 1 cube plus negative 1 square minus negative 1. So a cube of negative number is negative number, so it is minus 1. Square of negative number is a positive number, so it is positive 1, and minus minus is plus, so plus 1. Plus and minus 1 get cancelled out, so y is 1. So for x negative 1, y is positive 1. So we have got the other stationary points as well, which are negative 1 and 1. Now the next question says, by sketching the graph, determine whether stationary points that are given is maximum or minimum. The graph will look like this because the coefficient of x is positive number. Now to place these turning points, x is positive, so it will come over this side of the graph, and y is negative, so it will come below. So these coordinates are minimum points or the minimum turning point. There's another way that you have already taken a derivative of the equation. Now you take the second derivative of the equation. So it would be 6x plus 2. After taking the second derivative, you put the value of x from the turning points that you have, which is 1 over 3. So you put the value of x over here, and it would be 6, 1 over 3 plus 2. That would be 2 plus 2. That is 4. So if you get a number which is greater than 0, then the turning points you have are the minimum points. If you get a value which is less than 0 or a negative value, then the turning points you have are the maximum points. So this is the minimum turning point. Now C part says the equation x cube plus x square minus x equals to k has fewer than 3 solutions. Find the range of possible value of k. If you draw a line over here, you will see that your line crosses the graph at 2 points. That means at this value of y, we have 2 solutions. And if you draw a line below this line will cross your graph 3 times. That means for this value of y, we have 3 solutions. And if we go beneath this line again over here, the line is cutting our graph 3 times. That means we have 3 solutions for this value of y. And over here, you'll see again this line cuts our graph at 2 points, so we'll have 2 solutions. If we go beyond these 2 solutions line, we'll only have 1 solution. So that means at the minimum point, the values are 1 over 3 and negative 5 over 27. And over the above side, we have the turning point negative 1 and 1. So this can help us to get the value of y for this line. So at this line, the value of y is 1. And for this line, the value of y is negative 5 over 27. At y negative 5 over 27, we have 2 solution, and below it we only have 1 solution. And at y equals to 1, we have 2 solution, and above it we only have 1 solution. So the range is if k is greater than 1 or equals to 1, we have 1 solution or 2 solution, which is fewer than 3. And for the k value lesser than minus 5 over 27, we have 2 or 1 solution, which is fewer than 3. Thanks for watching the video. If it was helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe my channel.